Hi again everyone, Def here. Today after the break we took on the 16th due to everyone being caught up in E3, I'm back to give another status update regarding some of our more specific plans for this project. We know a lot of you are anxious to see gameplay footage, but as we said before, we feel it's better to wait until the gameplay is polished enough to properly show off, rather than showing it in an unfinished state, leaving others to judge it as though it's the final product. We feel the mixed response to our early model shown on Twitter demonstrates why we feel this way about the gameplay. With that said, let's get right into some of our plans for the project, starting with some of the smaller details and leading up into a couple bigger pieces of information we hope you will enjoy. For starters, let's talk about our plans for the DX minigame collection. This one was already answered in our Q&A video, but we feel it's important enough to be reiterated here, as not everyone watching this video has seen the entire Q&A. For those who don't know, the Director's Cut version of Sonic Adventure contained what was known as a minigame collection. Essentially, it was a mode that allowed you to play emulated versions of various Game Gear titles after unlocking them either by collecting enough emblems or by beating certain amount of missions. We've been asked by several people whether or not we will include these in SAR, and if so, how we are going to pull it off. While this may come off as disappointing to some, the answer to this one unfortunately is no. We are not going to be including the DX minigame collection in Sonic Adventure Remastered, as doing so would require our team to build an entire Game Gear emulator, which is a large-scale project even on its own, and the legality behind including official Game Gear ROMs with our own fan project, which is already a remastering of a game still technically for sale, isn't very strong to say the least. Instead, beating missions will go towards unlocking something else we will discuss at a later date. Next up, let's talk about the Sky Chase subgames. The Sky Chase stages are a part of Sonic Adventure that people, even on our team, tend to either love or hate. Some find them to be very enjoyable, while others find them to be a waste of time due to their lack of difficulty. When it comes to Sky Chase, we don't even have all of the specifics decided ourselves yet, so we won't spend much time on this subject. However, we can confirm that the Sky Chase stages will be in Sonic Adventure Remastered, and they will be tweaked somewhat to make them more difficult and not as automated. Alright, now, let's get into some of our bigger plans. For starters, let's talk about our plans for a day-night cycle. Somewhat popular addition added in early builds of Sonic 06 was the day-night cycle. Presumably, as you would run through each stage, the game's skybox would slowly cycle from daytime to nighttime, with the lighting and other such aesthetics changing along with it. This idea was scrapped later on in that game's development, thought we feel it had potential, which is why we are including it in Sonic Adventure Remastered. The stages will all start at the same time as in normal Sonic Adventure, but as you progress through each level, the time of day will slowly change at the speed of one complete 24-hour cycle every 10 minutes, a time we purposely choose to be around twice as long as the average stage completion time, so the changing isn't distracting during gameplay. This is a feature we hope a lot of you are excited by, but we realize it's not for everyone. So if you dislike the idea of each stage having a day-night cycle, don't worry, you will be able to turn it off in the game's options menu. Now here is something we think everyone will like. A big feature a lot of us have always wished Sonic Adventure had is the ability to change into super forms in any stage after collecting all of the KSM rods. So many people have wanted this that there was even a fan-made mod for Sonic Adventure that allows you to actually transform into Super Sonic. Though it's extremely broken as it functions the same way as Super Sonic in the game's final boss. We are proud to announce today that you are, in fact, going to be able to transform certain characters into super forms in Sonic Adventure Remastered. Here is how it's going to work. 3 characters for sure going to be able to transform into their super forms: Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. Whether or not the other characters will be able to turn super is still somewhat up for debate. We are leaning towards them not being able to transform though. particularly because we are unable to think of any real way of making them able to transform without it feeling a little off. Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles will be able to transform into their super forms at any time during any of their action stages after acquiring all of the Chaos Emeralds. Each character, while in their super forms, will lose 1 ring per second, be invincible to everything including drowning, with the exception of bottomless pits and non-swimmable water, and be able to reach higher speeds than normal. Sonic Y Super will have an instant light speed dash like the one in SA2, and will have his spin dash replaced with a supersonic boost, which will essentially be just like the spin dash in that it will control roughly the same and be spammable infinitely, except it will be faster and have no charge up time. When you are using the supersonic boost, if Sonic reaches his maximum speed, then Thunderstorm effect will play, and all on-screen enemies will explode, and all on-screen rings will be collected as Sonic has just broken the sound barrier. While this is a feature, it won't be that easy to reach this state, so you don't feel like it's that unbalanced. Tails Y Super will be able to fly slightly faster and higher than in his normal form. He will also be followed by an army of flickies like in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which will destroy all nearby enemies and collect any nearby monitors, so long as you don't have the item in the monitor already. But this will cost quite a lot of rings, so keep an eye out on that. And lastly, Knuckles Y Super will be able to glide longer than usual, and while the action button is held down, he can perform a special ability known as Emerald Vision, which allows him to see emerald shards through walls at the cost of around 5 to 10 rings per second. We realize some of these abilities may seem overpowered, but we will be doing our best to balance them out fairly, and honestly we feel they should be a little overpowered, as you have to collect all the emeralds to unlock them. Basically we see this as a sort of reward for your hard work. Last but not least, we have one more big announcement for SAR, the inclusion of multiplayer. At any time while playing the main game, you will be able to hit start on another controller to enter split screen multiplayer mode and play together with up to 4 players. But that's not all. You will also be able to host your own servers so you can play the entire game with friends online. Some sequences may need to be changed around in order for this to work properly, such as the Sky Chase games, but overall we felt we had to put this feature in the game, as this is something we feel the game was practically designed for and would greatly benefit from. So that's all for today. We hope you were excited to hear something from today's video, and as always, we thank you all for your continued loyalty and support towards the project. Thank you all for watching, and take care.